And then Wout was again like crazy in the mood, and he went for the downhill. Then he was sprinting, he was riding like hell, and I was completely on the limit.
After the heat of stage 3, the second day in Paarl offered an opportunity to reset, to reassess, and to revive in cooler conditions. The beauty of the sunrise and the early morning glow through the dusty skies heralded a new day with fresh opportunities. Time would, however, tell who had the energy to seize those chances. Stage 4 usually sees a midweek lull, but that could present an opportunity for the brave to exploit. With just 43 seconds separating first and second on the general classification and 3 minutes and 10 seconds between third and fifth, there were reasons for aggressive racing after a fiercely contested stage 2. The first down the Paarl trails had seen Aubert Liet Speed Company and Outride Toyota Specialized dropping comprehensively out of the general classification race. This created the opportunity for Mbuko Kemchamp to leapfrog up the overall standings. After Buff Megamo had taken the King of the Mountain Hotspot prize, the race came back together, and it was at this moment when Marco Hubert and Tristan Nokia seized the initiative. They were followed by the race leaders Nino Schurter and Filippo Colombo, as well as the second place team Willia Vittoria. The efforts the Absa African jersey wearers put in nearly saw them miss the finale when they could not follow Scott Strand's acceleration. But they managed to reel in the top 2 teams with 2 kilometers to go. Nokia then went early, but was swallowed by the Swiss duo and the Italian team. Galloping to the line, the quartet was shoulder to shoulder until Luca Brido and Simone Avendetto edged ahead. The victory was Willia Vittoria's second, but it only reduced Scott Stram's lead by a single second. Mbuko Kemchamp moved up to third. In the UCI women's race, a chink appeared in Toyota Specialized armour. Though Alika Langvad and Sofia Gomez Villafane were still able to win the stage and extend their overall lead. The result did not tell the full story, however. Crashes dominated the tale from the trails. Langvad, Samara Shepherd and Tessa Kortikas all crashed in the early phases, with the New Zealander breaking her wrist and being forced to withdraw. After climbing to the Queen of the Mountain Hotspot prize, Langvad crashed for a second time, which affected her confidence in the single tracks and allowed Eficient Infiniti SCB SRAM back into the race for stage honours. Vera and Alexis Skarda sensed weakness in the Dane, but were still not able to drive home an advantage as Langvad and Gomez Villafane climbed more powerfully on the gravel roads. This superiority on the ascents allowed Toyota Specialized to win the day. Behind, in the battle for third, Titan Racing SE Honeycomb had a stellar stage and gained time over Cannondale ISP Sport. The Anchor Hoare and Haley Preen moved up to third overall after stage 3, while at the top of the leaderboard, Toyota Specialized held the 13-minute 59-second advantage. Stage 4 would suit both the men and the women in the Absa African jerseys. It was a shorter, less steep stage, with 1,950 metres of climbing in 80 kilometres. In terms of the 2025 race, the average of 24 metres of climbing per kilometre is easy by comparison. The mix of single tracks and gravel road climbs on and around the Paarl Mountain played to the strengths of the powerful riders. With one eye on the Queen stage to come, the sense amongst the UCI men was that this was a day to tick off quickly and, if possible, without any drama.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked with third on GC. It's where we want to be. And I think we saw yesterday that the routes around Paarl here suits us. We can put 1 or 2 other threats for us under pressure.
Yeah, we're going to try to stick to the front as long as possible, and I think if the race is going to give our a chance, we're going to take it, but it's going to be hard, I think.
I think we're kind of halfway through after this one, stage 4. Kind of flat stage in the beginning, backloaded with some climbing towards the end. Some nice trails, I hope so. It's cooled down a bit, but yeah, halfway through the race you see the first cracks, the first signs of weakness, of fatigue. Let's see what today brings.
The trial by dust got underway straight from the gun. Plumes of fine powder were churned into the air by the fury of the men's peloton departing the Fairview start line. The flatter first 20 kilometres made for a fast opening to the stage and ensured that the group remained large as it charged through the fallow fields towards the orchards and olive groves. visibility was poor and the speeds were high. The UCI women were equally aware that the day was one to conclude without any problems. Toyota Specialized in particular were ready to adopt a more reactive strategy after 4 days on the front foot.
I've been told it's a little bit more open at the start, so I'm looking forward to playing possum and sitting the wheel. And then the climb is towards the end, so yeah, hopefully we've got some legs for that, and then it's all downhill to the finish.
So GC, we are second at the moment with quite a big gap to the front and a similar gap to the third place. But nothing is over yet. We still have 4 stages and we are here to race.
I think we could take advantage of the downhills. Yeah, I think if we can get in front for those single track descents, I think we could maybe get a little edge there.
My feeling is good. Good recovery. Today 80 Ks. Beginning quite flat, so I think quite hectic, but it will be super fun. Cape Epic is something else. You cannot compare it with other races. It's next level, but I'm really enjoying it.
Well, the fighting talk done, the time for the legs to join the conversation had come. The UCI women set out knowing that the course would only provide the terrain upon which they could make a difference after a benign start to proceedings. The early kilometres would be for feeling each other out and looking for some weaknesses. With the week's efforts beginning to tell, tempers were fraying and perhaps legs would fade too. Open road and dual tracks between the orchards, the pace was blistering in the UCI men's race. Despite the lack of geographical features to help stretch the peloton, the aggressive riding at the front made it all but impossible for anyone to move up and even caused splits in the field as the stronger teams edged away from those who are not quite up to the top 20 level. It was no surprise, given the speed with which they were moving, to discover that Matt Beers was on the front. The Outride Toyota Songo man looked to be working out some of his frustrations as he worked over the peloton. Lucas Baum, who was in a similar situation to Beers, was also helping to drive the pace towards the climb onto the Paarl Mountain. Starting on dual track, the climb narrowed to single track, which Joubert led into.
Yeah, no, it definitely was an exciting day. The pace was flat out from the start. We knew it's going to be flat out with all the sand and corners, and yeah, we knew we had to get first in that first single track, and we did. So yeah, just kept the pace high. The group split, come back, but then yeah, the group split up completely before the last people in the last climb, and yeah, we just kept the pace on and just tried to get more time on GC.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do today. I think we put some time into our 4th and 5th, so yeah, that's good. We just want to keep chipping away.
Joubert and Norkier's nearest rivals, Clementizia Aubert, missed the initial split, along with Honeycomb 226's, Insect Science and Topado Kenda FSA2. There was ample firepower to help Samueli Bora and Mark Stutzman bridge across to Mbuko Chemchamp and company, but it would take long kilometres. The chase played out over the best part of 10 kilometres, with the Clementizia Aubert group exercising restraint, trying not to burn too many matches and sprinting across the gap, matches they would need when the roads kicked uphill. Dry conditions had parched the gravel to the point of desiccation, clouds of dust billowing into the riders' faces as the tyres ripped into pockets of softened soil.
Yeah, today was not super hard, but I found it hard. A lot of riders always stay concentrated. Then we made a bit of difference on the climb, but then at the top was quite flat and a lot of people came back.
Yeah, we talked about it in the morning that maybe we don't need to go that fast from the start, and maybe we can focus more for the long climb and go like a more steady pace because it suits me a bit better. And it worked out. Yeah, we catch the front group just before the top of the longest climb, like it's like a kilometer 50 or something. And then Wout was again like crazy in the mood, and he went for the downhill. Then he was sprinting, he was riding like hell, and I was completely on the limit.
The narrow dual tracks lined with thick sand made the early phases easy to control for the women at the front of the group and ensured a steady pace, which was largely welcomed as the days before had taken their toll and the climb ahead demanded respect. It was all going to plan for Gomez Villafane.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there for a sweet time today. You know, shorter stage and time, 3.5, 3:40, which it's always nice to go under 4 at the epic. 100%, and I think like that's the name of this race. Whenever you least expect it, you get hit hard. And yeah, I think for us, we really just need to watch the bodies, really watch the bikes, and just, you know, we have a nice little buffer on GC, and we just need to get through today, and then see how the body responds, and then you're kind of closer and closer to that finish.
When the climbing began, Eào icient Infiniti SCB SRAM took the initiative and looked to put Toyota Specialized under pressure.
Yeah, we ended up taking control of the race pretty early on. We wanted to get in front for the single track, and so I felt it easier to just stay in the front, and then we were able to lead a lot of that single track, which I think really benefited us. And again, we were being pretty smooth today, and so we made a gap at one point, and then they caught back up on the climb. But it was nice to have that the lead in the single track in the downhill.
Yeah, we're trying to race this race, trying to put them under pressure. We're not there quite yet, but we are coming closer every day. Yeah, that long climb in the middle got me a little bit, but I think we finished strong again.
Lawser and Skarda rode valiantly, but were once again outclimbed by Gomez, Villafane and Langvad on the day's biggest ascent, which was also where Titan Racing SE Honeycomb caught a glimpse of the women in second.
I suffered a lot today. I was told it was an easier day, but it definitely wasn't easier for me at least. Haley was power the whole way. We lost contact quite early in the single track, and then we were with 4th and 5th. Lots of tussling there, and then we managed to get away. And then Haley said to me, she's like, do you want to just control 3rd, or like should we really try and catch him? I'm like, we had to race, man.
I mean, yeah, we just kept going like we've been racing. It's not like we ease up at any time. So, yeah, we pushed on, and we could see Vera and Alexis, and I was trying to take timed gaps, and maybe we took 10 seconds on them, and then it kind of stayed equal the whole way.
The gaps which were established on the climb to the highest point of the day remained constant over the summit and throughout the rest of the non-technical racing on the roads and dual tracks atop the Palm Mountain. Each team was locked in a time trial of sorts, maintaining their position in anticipation of the next opportunity the course would present. Alongside the UCI men and women, there are also exceptionally competitive age category teams competing in the Open, NTT Masters, GIC Grandmasters and Great Grandmasters subdivisions. One of the most recognizable among them is Spanish road cycling legend Ivonne Zugasti.
I'm very happy because yesterday I have good legs, but today very fast the principal section and very steep for me. And carry today like a Viking.
Corey Wallace is riding alongside 5-time UCI race winner Christoph Sauser.
Yeah, it's awesome. We had a good time in Nepal, and same here. So yeah, couldn't ask for a better partner.
And Corey and I were just by ourselves digging. And it's a constant effort. It's not on and off. And I've definitely stuck like that, and then mega hot towards the end. I hope the guys starting now, they have okay finish still.
Even among the age groupers, there are levels, as Oliver Munich knows.
We light 60 odd kgs, and to hold the wheel of Bart and these Nederlanders, they flipping power. So you gotta, let me not say that word. You gotta put a lot of effort in. You gotta hold the wheel, and then you got to decide, you got to reach a point where enough's enough, and then you got to ride yourself into the finish, because today's today, and tomorrow we got to charge again.
Yeah, I was tired. I had some stomach problems at the start, so it was bad, and from the very beginning I felt really down. Yeah, and it didn't get better. Then I crashed. Yeah, it doesn't look so good, so yeah, I hope I'm gonna be able to continue tomorrow again, and I'm going to medical clinic right now.
The final trail off the mountain was exceptionally dusty, which made descending dangerous.
Then the last down here, was a bit scary. I was the last one and I couldn't see anything. But yeah, and then in the end, the last 10K, again, a big bunch of riders. So like yesterday, sprint finish.
Yeah, it was a bit tactic race today. Mid-race, nobody really wanted to go anymore, and then yeah, we tried our chance in the downhill again to put them a bit under pressure, and yeah, it was good racing.
Having been distanced when Nokia crashed on the Toyota Tough segment, the Mbuko Chemchamp team had a chase on their hands across the flats heading towards the Fairview finish line. They dragged Buff Megamo with them and set up a 4-team sprint with Scott SRAM and Willia Vittoria.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was actually quite close in the end with a lot of teams. We just kept it steady in the single track, and yeah, where it was hard, we split it, and yeah, I think we're up there with the top teams, and we just kept it steady today. And yeah, sprint finish again. We tried a different tactic, but yeah, I think we're not sprinters.
In the final 500 metres, Nokia accelerated away from the group. Then Stosek kicked off the sprint, and once again Mbuko Chemchamp found themselves on the receiving end of the cross-country power. Scott SRAM and Willie Vittoria thundered to the line, jostling out Buff Megamo and Joubert in the process. When the riders surged and threw their front wheels to the line, it was unclear which teammate had crossed the line second. A photo finish revealed Brido and Avendetto as the stage winners. Buff Megamo were third and Mbuko Chemchamp fourth. Colombo and Chute had to settle for second.
Yeah, as I said, yeah, our main goal is not the stage wins. Our main goal is to win the GC. So we are fine if we every day take second in the sprint. We are completely fine.
Yeah, so the race was super fast from the beginning, and Martin had a crash. And then just shortly afterwards, he was also behind the crash. So yeah, we had to chase from the beginning, but we decided to go on our own pace. And I think middle of the race, just a bit after that, we came back to the front group. And yeah, we immediately decided to try to split the group. And yeah, it worked out pretty well. And then in the final, I knew that it was going to be a sprint. And yeah, it was super difficult, tactical, like with 4 teams sprinting, it's quite difficult. So yeah, third in the end, I'm a bit disappointed, but on the other hand, I'm also happy that we didn't lose time because it didn't look that well in the beginning of the stage. So yeah, mixed feelings.
Yeah, third on GC. We wanted to just keep that spot today and try put time in our rivals. And yeah, I think we did that, so good day for us.
For the second day in a row, Willia Vittoria stood atop the podium at Fairview, with Scott SRAM MTB alongside them. Buff Megamo were the only change from Stage 3's top 3. The more significant time gaps came low down the stage results. Torpedo Kenda FSA 2, Clementizia Orbea and Honeycomb 226s all finished within a minute of the winners. The result means that Chute and Colombo will take the yellow jerseys into the Queen stage. They lead by 42 seconds from Brido and Avendetto. Joubert and Nokia were at 9 minutes 52, but had gained 49 seconds over Clementizia Orbea. Having taken a lead into the final descent, Langvad and Gomez Villafane kept it safe and rode their way onto the flats for the drag towards the finish line.
We had such a solid stage, we just didn't know how we were going to feel after the few mishaps we had yesterday, and we don't want to keep buying land out there. So yeah, and then on the pump track, that's when we started to see the girls, and it was a little bit of cat and mouse, but yeah, we had a super solid day.
My goal was to kind of recover a little bit from yesterday, and my partner was just looking after me so well out there. So yeah, that is really what got me through, and a lot better feeling today.
The Toyota Specialized Combinations buffer over their chasers was a little too small for comfort, which kept Langvad and Gomez Villafane on the power, charging across the fields and along the sandy roads, which had led them out 3 hours earlier. Once the finish arch loomed into sight, they knew their 5th stage victory was assured, and they could enjoy the moments of bliss after the exertions which earned them the win.
Yeah, I felt good. I felt like the legs were there, and I was definitely pushing hard at that point because we were trying to pressure on the leaders, and you know, sometimes you get a little excited, and so just trying to pace it. We just paced it a little differently, but I think it's better to like back off. So it actually was good that we backed off a little bit and were strong towards the end and really closed it towards the end.
Skarda and lost her strength at the end of the stage reduced Toyota's Specialized margin of victory to just 50 seconds. Titan Racing SE Honeycomb also finished powerfully over the final kilometres. For the second time in 2 days, they crossed the line in third.
Yeah, I think third place was also racing really well today though. They were hot on our heels as well. But yeah, 15 minutes, it sounds like a lot, but anything can happen really quickly. And we're still racing out there. I mean, we're racing for a stage win or whatever. We're not just racing for the GC. So we're not here to drink tea, eh?
Right where we kind of started to fight a little bit for position, I think Vera was hurting a little bit, and Skarda put in a big attack that we didn't quite follow all the way. And Vera got dropped pretty good, and then we just saw our chance, and we're like, you know what, we'll just set our pace, but we're comfortable. If they catch us, they catch us, but they're going to have to do a lot of work to catch us.
Stage 4's UCI Women's Podium was a replica of the Stage 3 one, but the shine of standing on an Absa Cape Epic podium had not yet worn off for Hohe and Preen. The day also saw the closest time gap since the prologue, with just 50 seconds separating first and second. Titan Racing SC Honeycomb were a further 49 seconds back. Langvad and Villafane topped the UCI Women's General Classification podium once more. Their lead is 14 minutes and 49 seconds going into Stage 5. Lawson and Skarda's advantage was 13 minutes over third, while Hohe and Preen's gap to fourth was 19 minutes. The Queen stage would be a 98-kilometre ride from Fairview outside Paarl to Lawrenceford Wine Estate in Somerset West, taking in the biggest climb of the race, the neck between Dornier and the Helderberg Basin. In total, Stage 5's elevation gain amounted to 2,850 metres. A prediction of rain overnight and into the morning could add a further element of difficulty on an already challenging day.